I filmed this stupid intro too many times because I end up going off on a tangent and like I'm doing right now. So, welcome back to my YouTube that I barely post on because I'm lazy. Actually, I just do a lot of stuff, so don't judge me. Anyway, just filmed with my closest friend Anya. We talked about being on exchange and our friendship. That's pretty much it, and yeah, ow. So let's just get into this video that'll probably take me 18 hours to edit. Have fun. Oh, welcome back.
Am I like extremely white?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, perfect. Hold on.
Lighting queen.
Okay.
So, what made you want to go to America last year? Like, what made you want to do the exchange before?
Honestly, I've answered this question like millions of times because everybody's asking that. But it's fine. I came to America because I was kind of fascinated with the culture, but I didn't really believe the culture that you see like in movies or in TV. I wanted to like see it for myself. Plus, I really wanted to go somewhere on my own because I'm a really independent person and I love traveling. And like exchange is like ultimate travel because you get to be on your own, be independent. I mean, certain level, of course, and then travel because I traveled a lot. So
yeah, during that year, yeah.
And English because like America speaks English, and I didn't want to go anywhere where I don't understand the word. That would be uncomfortable.
The word? You mean the language?
The word.
The word.
No, I said like, I wouldn't understand anything. That's why.
I thought you said the word. Okay, anyway, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I tried to do that last year as well. My parents would not let me because it's not as big in like America to go on an exchange. You know what I mean? Like you stay in America.
Like traveling to Florida is like a trip for you, like
pretty much for most people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you know, I'm kind of different with that thing, that whole traveling thing, because a lot of people wouldn't travel by themselves like I did to see you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's difficult, but it's tough in a way, and there's a lot of stress involved. I'm sure that both of us actually experience a lot of stress over flights and over different things that are pretty stressful, like airports. Like getting lost in the airport, because why not? Like in the middle of nowhere. Actually, it was Paris. I got lost in Paris because I took the wrong subway, but it happened.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's a really good learning experience. Like, I'm glad that I fly alone.
It's experience after you go through it, because when you're actually in the middle of going through it,
it's
you're
stressful.
Like panicking, you have like a heart attack, you're like crying, you're like have like all the weird scenarios in your head, how you're gonna get shot in the middle of nowhere and nobody will find your corpse.
And that literally happened to me once, so you know, I learned from that.
Yeah, that happened.
That's a whole nother video. I don't even feel like going on that right now. But so okay, I wrote like something down. I don't even remember. Okay, so like what's like some major differences going from, you know, your city in Poland going all the way to America to Ohio? Like what was major differences other than the language, obviously?
Yeah. The biggest difference for me was size of the city, because I live in. I mean, it's not a big city, but I would compare it to Cincinnati, and I've been living here my entire life, so I'm used to kind of like city life, and especially because I live in a city center, like really close to all the culture things and all the town and stuff. And Batavia was kind of a surprise. And I'm not saying that in a like adventure, not a
Yeah.
lifestyle. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to live there, like, just being in the middle of nowhere with just, like, houses around me and, like, you have to go, what, like, 20 minutes to get to Eastgate or something? What is,
It's like 15 minutes to Eastgate. And that's
which is,
not
like,
even really like a city type thing. That's just like a mall and restaurants. Like, it's
yeah,
not.
or, yeah, but if you need something closer, then you get a dollar store, which is basically a place where all the drug addicts hang out, no offense. And it's kind of creepy. So,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But the biggest difference, yeah, I would say it was like change of lifestyle, because I went from going out with basically 3 times a week with my friends in the city and like going to like restaurants and stuff, and I changed to staying home or like doing nothing or hanging out in my basement, which I've never done before. It's like you don't actually hang out in your basement here.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have a basement where you
barely
live.
have the basement. Well, I don't have a basement, but I live in an apartment. I don't have a house.
But
Yeah.
so that was like it, just like kind of like the setting, like not really ethics, because like I know there's a couple things with like just ways that you go about yourself or something related to that you mentioned to me, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
I know that like I'm the type of person that likes to dress nice and likes to like. I mean, I think it's kind of like a European way that the European thing that we tend to care more about our appearance. Because so like when you go to school, not like on special occasions, just like going out in general, like going to school, going to work, going to store or whatever, we just like tend to dress. I would say like maybe nicely. I don't know how to put it. Like we put effort to our look, and in America, I noticed that like people don't care. So like they would wear like whatever and go out like to eat even. Yeah. I'm not talking about like going shopping or something, but like going out to eat to a restaurant. They were just kind of like and like same with school. Like in American school, girls like don't wear makeup. And only if you go to like typical high school, you would see all the girls like just with crazy makeup and like dressed up, and it's not like over the top. It's nice, you know what I mean? So that was like a big difference for me, because that was kind of a shock for me. And like that's why when I came to like American high school, and like people were asking me why am I like why did I dress up, and I was like I did it.
Yeah.
I really
remember
did
that
it.
a lot.
Yeah, which is I guess kind of new to Americans, that people can look nice. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
I know.
But yeah, that was just the thing I noticed. Yeah, and it's like a general way of like caring about like your appearance and like I don't know, just get it in a way. And then like people in America or in like smaller towns like Potato in Ohio, they're just like kind of don't care about that stuff.
About like
you know what I mean?
Dressing up and just like looking nice.
Yeah, and like just like kind of like higher standards of living. I don't know how to put it, but
I mean, yeah, it's also like where you went to. Like here, it's like again, it's very just like neighborhood, like middle class, lower middle class, like type of people.
Yeah, I'm middle class too. I'm just saying, but like, yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like in general, like you guys always put on makeup for like school and just always like go out and like you can walk around and go to like the city.
I'm saying that in a mean way.
I know. I know. I'm just like explaining like here you can't like put on makeup and just walk around like this like old town or like a city, because we don't have that here. Like you would have to drive like half an hour away, and people here, they just don't put on makeup. They just go to the Dollar Tree and just like look like a nut. Like that's just how it is. That is a difference. What about with like food? Was there anything like super weird for you?
I wouldn't say weird, because American cuisine is pretty popular
Mhm.
everywhere,
Mhm.
but I've never ate so much fast food in my life.
Yeah.
And I
Always.
had to like really control myself because I really care about my weight. Like it's just like the thing, this like my thing that I really care about it.
Yeah,
So
me too.
and like eating in fast food places was a terrible experience because all the like deep fried food and stuff. I've spent a lot of time just like having stomach ache, to be honest,
Yeah, I
and it
remember
was
that.
not awesome. It was pretty bad. But that's just me because I have like sensitive stomach.
Oh
But in
yeah.
general, it's not bad, but it's definitely not good quality.
Mhm.
And the price is like reasonable because it's cheap, but the quality is just terrible. But the food, like, it's good. And also, another thing I've noticed is like American McDonald's is disgusting because like in Poland, I actually like to eat McDonald's from time to time because they have like some good stuff. But American McDonald's is terrible, and not only with food, but also with like their locations and their like rest of the buildings, and it's all like disgusting. It's dirty and it is disgusting.
Yeah.
And actually, surprisingly, Polish McDonald's are nice.
I've been to
And
one.
like,
It was actually really
yeah,
clean.
yeah, exactly.
So I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was surprised too when I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
for
like,
me,
I don't know. Yeah.
when like I went to Poland, I did realize like even when we did go to get like burgers or something, I don't know if I said that right, but whatever. Whenever we like went to like get burgers or like really anything, it would just be like I don't know how to put it like in a term that really makes sense, but it would just be kind of like cleaner. Like it would be like I wouldn't feel bad after eating the food basically. You know what I mean? Like even if I did eat a burger, like it would be not super greasy or like super fatty. Like it would be, you know, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel like crap like after eating it. And that makes sense for you to like go from that like your entire life to coming here and then eating like super greasy like whatever like fried food and then getting stomach aches because like I would too if I went the other way around because I don't know like that 2 weeks that I was there like I actually ended up losing weight like by the time I came back home and it's from like walking around like you literally walk out of your house and are able to like walk around two different towns like the old town and then the new town and then you just like meet up with friends and go out to eat and it's just like it's nice. I liked it a lot obviously.
Yeah, that's what I miss most about like living in Ohio because even though I had friends, just the way of hanging out with friends is different. So
Mm-hmm.
like in America, when you hang out with somebody, you would go to their house, to their basement, play video games, maybe go to the mall, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I really enjoy like the best thing about hanging out with somebody. I mean, like I hang out with people at their houses and stuff. But like the best part is when you go out and go to a
Yeah, you
restaurant
can like
and
meet up at like a
or
cafe or whatever.
yeah, yeah, or like a pub or whatever, and like a bar, and you just like, and there's
Yeah.
like this whole like atmosphere of like um being around people and like it's loud. There's music. There's like other people.
Right.
Like some I
And
don't
you
know
don't have to
fun
have like
situations going on.
yeah, and you don't have to have like strict plans. Whereas like here, you're
Yeah,
driving somewhere, so like you have like a
yeah,
set destination, and it makes it like
yeah,
harder to plan or like hang out really. And so you're just like,
yeah,
oh, let's just meet up here. We can walk around, find something to do. You know,
yeah.
like it's so
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
love that. Like I can't wait to go back. Like,
I know.
but
Yeah.
okay, I have another thing. How did we meet? Slash, what was your first impression of me? And I know we've
That's
already
my
talked about this.
favorite story. Oh my
Yes.
god, that's literally my favorite story to
Yes.
tell ever. Because at first, okay, was it like okay? So the school started like August, and I guess now we first met like wait, when was
Mm,
homecoming? Was
That was in October, so we met like mid-September,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Okay, so that's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna like I can stop laughing. I'm gonna tear out though because it's
I know.
so like
It's such like
emotional.
yeah, it's so like wholesome, but it's also like funny, and I'm just like,
I know. Well, so we met. I think it was study hall, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Evelyn is a lovely person, but sometimes she didn't have how to put it in a nice way.
RBF.
Exactly. So
Yeah, pretty bad.
I saw her RBF staring at me, and I thought, like, okay, so she doesn't like me. But then her friend was like super nice, and she like talked to me a lot. And then I think that the counselor asked who wanted to move from the classroom to like library for study hall.
Yeah, because there was too many people in the room.
Yeah, so the two of them, like Evelyn and her friend, they like volunteered to go there, and her friend asked me to go with them. That was actually real nice. And then we ended up sitting together in the library, and that's how the love story started, I guess.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
It turned out that she actually liked me. She wasn't mean.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, like I wasn't really thinking when I was looking at you. Like I guess I was just trying to like figure out like who you were, kind of like also, but like didn't really like think about it that much. I don't know. But like once I started talking to you, like I was like, okay, she's pretty cool. But then like the more that we talked, like the more that we like agreed on like everything. And like previous to this, I've had like close friends, and like I've had like best friends like when I was younger, but like I never had like a consecutive best friend or like somebody that I could go to with really everything or like feel like super comfortable with all the time. But like the more that me and like you talked, the more me and Anya talked, like we just became like closer and closer. And then like I mean, yeah, like the rest, like we literally went to homecoming together. Like we just did everything together after that. I was your chauffeur. Like I drove you everywhere. I took you around the city. I showed you all the things that I like to do. It was just like perfect.
Soulmates. I just put it that way. Soulmates. Yeah.
And then, after that lovely year of living our best lives, you had to go back home in the 1st of July. And later that month, I came back and I lived with you for a couple weeks, and I got to live the Anya life, and that was amazing. It was so fun.
And what was your favorite thing about my life?
Honestly, probably what I already said. Like, I love like the old towns. They're really pretty, really nice. Like, I don't know. It's just, and I guess like my favorite part is really just like the cities. Like since you live in the city, you can literally just walk outside of your house, out of your apartment, and you can just walk around with your friends and like go to like whatever cafe or like the park or like I don't know. That's my favorite part. That's just like my way of living, I guess, like my preferred way of living, instead of like driving everywhere or like just living in like a suburban home. Like that's not really like my cup of tea. Like it's fine, and I have lived like that for 17 years, but I'd rather not. So that was really fun to like experience.
And that's kind of like iconic things you want to experience.
Yeah.
And I can experience those stuff.
Well, the first one was homecoming. That's like near like the beginning of our like relationship.
That was weird though. I did not enjoy it.
No, yeah, it was weird. Homecoming, not my favorite thing.
I mean, it was an experience, but then forget about it and never go back.
Yeah, pretty much. Not really my favorite type of thing. Our group like left us because we were like getting ready and they wanted to be there super early, and then I was like stressed out about it. And then we got sushi together, and that was chill. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Then after that, we just went to the dance, and
we didn't have like we did. Wait, I think we did like this really nice entrance, and you're just like, because it was like this red carpet or whatever. Just,
Yeah,
like,
we were like walking
walking
like.
in, like showing person like, oh, hello.
But yeah, homecoming kind of gross. A bunch of people just throwing it
Oh,
back on a.
that was super gross.
Yeah,
No, like
raunchy.
personal space is a thing. Like people should like understand what personal space is a little bit more.
It's not here. No, I mean
Yeah,
we
it's
had
better
fun
than
though.
that.
I was just kind of like having fun, like with like girls. Like the group that left us, I was still like, they were like, "Hey, come here, let's like have fun." I was like, "Okay, whatever, we'll dance, like whatever." Like I was like over it. I haven't really talked to them since actually, but I was like, "Okay, like let's just have fun. Like it's just homecoming. It's not that serious." I just like started dancing around. You were dancing around. Yeah, not really like anything crazy. I don't think that really like changed your perspective on America or anything. You're just like, okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how everyone feels about it. But what about prom? I know we've talked about this.
oh, that was one of my favorite memories, to be honest, from this entire year. I don't know, I just loved it because, like, not gonna lie, I have this weird thing that I love watching like vlogs from proms, like on YouTube. I would spend hours doing that. That's my guilty pleasure. I'll admit to it. But so experiencing on my own, it was just like so amazing. It was like so awesome because I don't know. It's like you feel like you're literally in a movie. Like for me, because I was really excited about all the things. So I tried to keep like this really fresh attitude, and I really wanted to like take everything in, like every experience, and I want to like be 100% involved in whatever I was doing because I knew that it's my only chance to experience all those stuff. Because like I'll never be 17 again. I'll never go to prom again. I mean, I might visit America, but I'll never have those things again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So going to prom, honestly, that was not my biggest, but one of my biggest dreams to experience. And we actually went to 2 proms, which was super fun. And
oh yeah, I made it happen.
And I don't remember really what happened at each prom, but I just remember my general excitement about going to prom and like dressing up and getting our hair done, getting our makeup done.
Oh yeah, we like went and got everything done. We didn't do it ourselves.
Yes, we were so fancy, and it turned out. I mean, it turned out good, like really good, but it wasn't perfect. But I didn't care. I was like, we're doing it. I still have like vlogs and Snapchat from it, and I'm just like they're like super nice. And also like the proposal, that was like also one of my
that was like one of your dreams
because that was like so freaking nice. And like every time I think about it, I literally smile, and I still have this huge poster in my bedroom. It's on the wall. I look at it like every morning, every day, every time I'm in my room. I think about it and I smile, and it literally makes my day better every time I look at it because it's freaking amazing.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's all you. Yeah. Thank you.
I like okay, so like kind of like background. I kind of just want to go through this real quick. Me and Anya would like, or me and you, we would talk about like how you were like looking at all these promposals on like Instagram and like all these.
Okay, no, I was actually pushing her to like.
Pushing me to ask you.
That's my like American goal. I need it in my life.
Yeah, she was like, you were like asking me to like make you post her, and I was like all about it. But I was like, you know what? We have this like mutual friend like that I showed her. One of my friends. His name is I'm not gonna say, but like he's one of our friends and he's super chill, really nice. And I was like, you know what? It would be even more like nice for her if a guy asked her because like okay, we hang out like every day, like whatever. So it would be even cool if like a guy asked her.
Forever.
Oh yeah, of course. But so I set up this thing with him that he makes these different notes around town, and like I drive her around, and we follow these notes, and we get to him at this park that's really nice, and it has this like little structure building that looks really cool. It's really nice, and he like had this poster. Yeah, he had this like poster that said in Polish, "Will you go to prom with me?" And then it said yes or no. And then she had to like check yes or no. And it was like so cute. And like I took pictures and I vlogged the whole thing. I loved it. It was really it turned out nice. So yeah, then we went to 2 proms. It's honestly what you make it. Like everybody like hypes it up on like high school things and like shows and stuff, but it's really what you make it. Like if you go with good friends and stuff, then it'll be pretty fun, you know? Like even like the after proms are pretty fun. Mainly the one like the other one that we went to that our school didn't provide.
Yeah.
Our school one was cool too because like we had like our friend group, which was like me, you, and like our 2 guy friends that we like hung out with like pretty much every day.
I thought you said 2 gay friends because I didn't hear you. I'm like so confused.
No, our 2 guy friends. No.
Never mind.
God, they would kill me. They would watch this and they'll be like, "Excuse me."
I'm sorry. I love you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I miss our group. Like we had like a little
I
group.
know. Wait, we have like this really cute photos from my last day at the airport when we were sitting
yeah.
us. Those are the cutest photos ever. I cry.
My gosh, like once I was like going back home, I was like so like heartbroken. Like I was like thinking about everything that we did. Like after you left, I was like, even though I knew I was gonna go see you in like a week after you left or so, I was like,
you know what? Until I went through the security gate, I was like fine. I was keeping it cool. I was like, I got this. I'm not gonna cry. But then like stepped over like security line, and I was in line. I was like, I'm losing it. I started like crying.
yeah,
like crazy. And like people were staring at me. It was like I was like
Yeah.
sobbing. Like, not even caring about all the people around me. I'm just like crying, like holding my little suitcase, my jacket, like just crying.
yeah, seriously. That was kind of me, like, cause like after I left Poland, which was like the last time that we saw each other, which that was like a huge like freaking bus ride to get to the airport. Like we were so tired and everything, so like we weren't like super like crying or anything because we were just so exhausted. And like I was like so exhausted, but once I like got on the plane and kind of like I think I was on the second plane, like when I really like after I took like a nap and like I was just on my way back home, well back to the U.S. I still had another plane to catch, but it kind of like sat in that I wouldn't see you for at least like another year, and I cried on that plane. I seriously did. Like I was sitting next to this dude, and he probably thought I had like some type of mental disorder because I was like, dude, like what just happened? Like this girl just came to my school for like a year. This random Polish chick, and like now I'm like depressed. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it kind of like set in for me then. We went through homecoming, prom, and then what's the other thing that we need to talk
Okay,
about?
the thing that like are worth mentioning for me is like football games.
Okay.
Which were boring but
Oh, yeah.
iconic. So
I
like, I
don't
did-
care for it. So like I'm probably the worst like American to speak to this, but like I literally don't care about football. I barely went to the games. You probably went to more games than I did. Not even gonna lie. Like
no, I didn't enjoy football games to be honest, but another thing I just wanted to like experience and get over with just to like check it on my list. And football games are pretty iconic, among American teenagers. So I wanted to like try that.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, I also had like a lot of situations where like people thought that like people thought that people it's like yeah, there were a lot of situations where my friends, or not even my friends, but people in school thought that people the struggles. Hold on.
Breathe.
That people in Poland speak English, and they didn't think think that Polish is a language. So I would say that's a compliment. But yeah, that's just sad that people don't know anything about Poland.
Yeah, really, like, that's very true. A lot of people didn't know that we're on, like, the same, like, latitude, so they thought it was, like, a freaking, like, Arctic wonderland, like, all the time. Like, I
Yeah,
heard
it's
people
like
say that.
Siberia. Do you have summer? Is it
Yeah.
always cold there? Is it like always winter? Do you have a lot of trees?
Do you have birds or
Hold on.
trees?
Hold on. My favorite one. Do you have schools? Somebody asked me that. That's not a joke. I literally.
They had
was
to be
a
joking.
full-on
That can't be
serious
serious.
Question. Do you
No
have
way.
schools?
That's no way.
No, we live in tents and we count on freaking cranberries. We like I don't know, pick up bananas from trees and I don't know, we freaking holler at each other. I don't know.
Oh my god.
But don't get me wrong. I actually like a lot of people would get annoyed with like questions like, "Do you have McDonald's? Do you have iPhones?" You know, stuff like that. Which people might get annoyed with it, but actually it was like entertainment for me, and I love those questions because
Oh,
I get to like make fun of them, but at the same
Yeah.
time I would like answer like depending on the like intelligence of a person with sarcasm or not.
Yeah.
Because people would believe my sarcasm,
Yeah.
but it was like like win-win because I get to laugh and they get to learn something. So look at me being.
Plus, you
good
really like
person.
explaining things. Like, you really like knowing something and like being able to explain it to somebody else. Like, you like doing that.
Yeah, I
a lot.
really enjoy. I enjoy talking to people, and I think that's kind of what made my exchange a success because I was putting myself out there and I wasn't really shy because I was like, you know what, frick it, I'm here only for a year, like whatever can happen, let it happen, and I didn't care, so I was just being loud. I don't know. I would make jokes. I would just trying to make myself be noticed because I don't know. I thought
I
it
mean,
was fun.
it was like 1 year.
I'm not really like that like back home. Like in Poland, I mean, I'm still like normal, but I'm not. I don't want to say crazy because that sounds weird, but I'm not that out there as I'm
like outgoing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, we even talked about that a lot because like nobody knew you, so you could kind of like be whoever you wanted to be. You know
It's
what
like
I mean?
Fresh start. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a flesh. It's like a fresh slate.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They're just like so nice. That's like one thing that I like about like America and like American is that people are really open and really welcoming because like that's just the general idea. I don't mean to be like I don't want to point out like at anybody, but generally speaking, people in Poland tend to be more close. Like it's not that they're not welcoming, but you need to like get to know them to like get to know them. You know, you need to have certain relationship with them to actually see what they really like. They're not mean. They're just more like reserved. Oh, that's
that's
I guess. Yeah, they're more reserved, while Americans are really open and I mean they're like started small talk in like groceries over like bananas or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is kind of weird, but it's also nice because it just
gives
you. It just puts you in a good mood, you know, like a good vibe.
Yeah, that is
what I like.
For the most part, anyway. I mean, you can't really say that like as a blanket term for everybody, but for the most part, yeah, that's very true. And it also depends where you are. Again, like we're in more of like suburban, like middle class thing. Like if you were in LA, people would be like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah, but I was Ohio. Honestly, I don't know. Like a lot of my friends, like college friends, they kind of like not make fun of it, but they're like, Ohio, where is that? You know, because they are heard of like New York and LA and California and stuff. But actually, I'm really glad I get to go to Ohio because first of all, it's like Well, you, of course. Okay. Second of all, it's like a great spot to like start traveling because it's like kind of in the middle, so you can go to East Coast and West Coast and like Florida, and it's like it's a good situation, localization. And thirdly, it felt like home because it's the same latitude, so like the weather's same, and it just kind of made the homesickness a bit better because it just felt like home, you know, because it wasn't like that big of a culture shock.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing.
I guess.
Like when I went over there, as much as it was like different and like I couldn't understand what anybody was saying, like it wasn't like a huge culture shock because like then again, because I just like couldn't understand what people were saying. Most everybody spoke English or there was like English options on like menus and stuff, and it wasn't even just that. Like the weather was the same, like things were like the same. Whereas like when I went to Asia, like the toilets were different, like everything was different. Like yeah, it was pretty chill. It's like I don't even know how to explain it, but Europe is just fun. What is it?
It's solid.
You Europeans, super fun, especially to go back to Poland and like see like your friends / my friends again / you again, obviously / your mom. That'll be really fun.
Let's say our friends.
Yeah, our friends.
Our friends and our mother.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's basically your house because like when I was in America, I spent most of my time living at your house.
Yeah. Even though I wasn't like your host family, I was like your family. Like
no, I get there like at least 5 times a week. At least, if not more.
Oh yeah.
And I will like spend at least one night over a week.
Yeah, like especially like it was every weekend at least, unless like unless you were out of town or I was out of town, like we were with each other really, or we were out like with our like little group of friends. That just this like whole conversation just makes me like excited to like go back. Honestly, not gonna lie.
This conversation makes me cry. Like, because you made me like remember all the great things that happened, and I'm about to like tear up.
Yeah, I like look through like my Snapchat memories. Like I get that like 1 year ago today, like Snapchat at the top of my screen. I'm like, you want to stop because this ain't it. Because like it'll be us like out like I don't know doing whatever. We did whatever all the time. So
driving around. Oh my god! Like I remember when we like were driving around listening to music like Brockhampton. Yeah. Just like windows open and we're just like driving. There's sunset and it was freaking amazing. Like
yeah, that's all the time. Honestly.
Remember the one of our last nights when we were driving around and we were listening to like Brockhampton. I think it was Bleach. And it was like, tell me why, and we were like yelling, like screaming, like tell me why.
Yes, I remember those like post-depression vibes. I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna feel. Like as much as like I kept like thinking about it and like not being able to like fathom like what was gonna happen. Now that it happened, like I'm glad that it happened, but I'm also like glad that I'm not like as like upset that I thought I was gonna be, because like as much as it was like depressing at the time, like now that like it's been like a little while, it's just like we
get used to it.
Yeah, like you get used to it, and like we can just like talk on FaceTime, which we do, or Snapchat, and then like I mean every summer we made a pledge to like go somewhere and like see each other like every summer, which is doable.
I'm actually proud of us because we're pretty good with keeping in touch.
Yeah.
Like with like crazy schedules, because like I have like classes and you have classes, you have a college class, you have a high school, and then time difference, and we still get to like FaceTime pretty often and like tags, and we Snapchat regularly.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of us. Like
we send each other memes on Instagram.
Like, high five.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
No.
like meme is like international form of communication.
Yeah, seriously.
We live separate lives. Like we're soulmates, but we just have separate lives. And
In two
no,
different
because like when
countries.
when I was in America, like we were living the same life,
Yeah.
like 24/7. But actually, they're like, but the one thing that is really stuck with me is like kind of like American phrases that I have with you, and I can't like say that to anybody else because they won't understand me. And there are like so many situations where I want to like say something that is funny only for you and me, and nobody else will understand it. So like I don't know, like boy she thick, like
Boy,
stuff like
she
that.
thick.
Exactly, it's funny, but nobody understands that.
Yeah, they'll be
And
like,
it's sad.
oh.
I don't know. Honestly, every time I think of America, I have like great memories, and I really love that year, and I think it gave me a lot. But I'm not sure if I wanted to live there, to be honest. Like, I don't think that. Okay, not America. That's too general, but like the area I was living in, like your
Oh,
place,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
it's just I don't know. It was an adventure, but I wouldn't change my life.
Yeah. And I have said this before, and like still, like it always sounds like I'm fooling myself or something. But like if we weren't like friends, like I don't think it would have been as much as a like it would have been an adventure, but it wouldn't be like as like fun.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like we just
definitely.
get along like so well, and like we like the same things. So like, and I was able to drive, whereas like your host parents were like cool, both of them were, but they weren't all about like let's go downtown. And plus like they weren't like your age, so it's not like you just like have fun like in the same way that we did. So
Yeah.
that was definitely a factor. And especially like for me
And
going to Poland, like when I went there, I was able to meet your friends too, and like me and you like would be able to just go out and walk around every day. And if I just went by myself, I wouldn't be able to like communicate as well, first of all, or like meet the same like your friends. So it wouldn't have been as like cool. But yeah.
yeah, well, go on exchange. I never expected that I will actually make such a good friend because like I made a lot of friends, but they were just like friends. And like with you, I'm actually like we're actually best friends. Like there's no I don't know like making us being friends because like with some people I was friends because we were in the same class and I don't know something so we were friends. But like with you, we didn't have any class together. I don't think apart from like study hall, and it all came out like really natural without like the need to have friends. So that's why I think it was really real because I wasn't like you didn't see me as Polish exchange student or I didn't see you as my American friend. We were just friends. Like
Yeah,
there
exactly.
was no like barrier between us. Like
Yeah.
either cultural or I don't think there was a language barrier even.
No.
Like I think we communicated pretty well. That's kind of nice. Like it was like a memory. Like you know all the things that happened.
It's nice to
after we're done with like this conversation, I'll actually go for my Snapchat stories and I'll like cry.
I do that. I do that all the time.
Give me some Batavia tea. I want some tea. I'm thirsty.
Okay, let me like turn off this recording.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was like a little interview. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. It was like an overview of the exchange / our relationship life. Yeah.
How it is to have a friend in a different continent.
That's what I'll title it.